Picture this. You graduated college in the early 2000s, top of your class, got a well-paying job at a relatively well-known company called Oracle, and for 20 years you worked your fingers to the bone to secure a good career. But on March 31st, 2026, you wake up at 6 a.m. and find a cold email from someone at corporate telling you,
"If you say your mom, you're fired." My mom? Get out! It was worth it!
The Oracle thing is just the one that made headlines. If you've been paying attention for the past 2 years, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, basically every name you grew up hearing, they've all done waves of layoffs. We're talking hundreds of thousands of positions gone. And people are angry, rightfully so. But here's something that doesn't get said enough. A big part of this mess is a hangover from 2021. When the pandemic hit, everything moved online almost overnight. Tech demand exploded. Companies panicked and hired like crazy. And then things normalized. They looked at their headcount, did the math, and realized they'd gone way too far. So yes, the layoffs are real and they're brutal, but some of this is companies dealing with their own overcorrection. But still, that doesn't make it okay.
Please, this is not your fault.
You're right. It's not my fault. It's your fault!
What?
And if losing existing jobs wasn't enough, try getting your first one. Computer science became the degree of the 2010s. Everyone heard the phrase, just learn to code, the jobs are always there, and believed it. So now you have more CS graduates than ever, competing for fewer entry-level spots than there were 5 years ago. One junior dev posting goes up on LinkedIn and gets 400 applications in 2 minutes. I've seen people write Python scripts that keep applying on LinkedIn until they hit the daily limit. And maybe after a week and thousands of applications, they get 2 replies.
So this year I applied for 1,084,209 jobs.
It's not that the talent isn't there. The supply just went way past what the market needed, and companies are using that to be selective in ways that would have been impossible before. And of course, how could we forget about AI and vibe coding? It's why companies think, why hire 3 junior developers when 1 mid-level person with AI tools can cover the same workload, at least on paper. A GitClear study from 2024 found that AI-assisted code is increasing what they call code churn, meaning the code gets written fast but needs to be rewritten just as fast because it breaks or doesn't hold up. But try explaining that to someone whose job is to cut costs before the next earnings call. And while all this plays out, the industry itself is not doing much to make it easier to respect. Look at gaming, for example. EA posted over $7.5 billion in revenue in 2024, laid off hundreds of developers that same year, and paid its executives $60 million while doing it. The CEO alone took home $25 million. So yeah, you ship a game people love, and the reward for the team that built it is a calendar invite and a box to pack your stuff in. Which leads me to the job hunting experience itself, which I think a lot of people are genuinely burned out by. You find a posting, apply, do a screening call, then a technical round, then a take-home project that takes a full weekend, then a culture fit interview, then you wait 2 weeks and get nothing back. LinkedIn is turned into a place where recruiters just post ghost jobs for tax returns purposes and brag about the company benefits. And the salary waiting at the end of all that is lower than it would have been 5 years ago, because when supply is this high, companies know they can offer significantly less, and if you don't want to take it, someone will.
Hello, I like money.
But I want to stop here and push back on the doom a little, because I think we've genuinely been in this situation before and people forget that. When the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, there were serious people saying the internet was finished. The companies with no real foundation collapsed, and the ones that had actual substance kept going and built what we use today. I think that's what's happening with AI right now. We're in the hype phase where every company is rushing to look like they're ahead of it, replacing people to impress shareholders, and the results are inconsistent at best. At some point, the industry will have to get honest about what AI is genuinely good at and what still needs a person making judgment calls. And there's one thing AI cannot do, no matter how capable it gets. It cannot have a bad idea at 2 a.m. that turns out to be brilliant by morning. It cannot feel a user's frustration and rethink a product from the ground up. It cannot take ownership of a decision. So, where does this leave us? Somewhere uncomfortable, at least for now. The industry overhired, panicked, and sworn hard in the other direction. AI is real and useful, and it's not going away, but neither are the developers who understand what they're building and why. And to achieve that level of understanding, you need to create interesting and unique coding projects, which is why you need to use Codecrafters, today's sponsor. They have the most rated GitHub repo ever, with almost 500K stars, and that's for a good reason. Codecrafters gives you access to unique projects that will help you stand out from the competition without the clown shoes and nose. You can build your own shell, your own HTTP server, your own Kafka, even your very own Claude code. And not only that, you can unlock $1,000 plus in annual savings with exclusive perks from Codecrafters partners like Scrimba, Boot.dev, and even JetBrains. You can start some projects free of charge, and if you use my link in the description, you can get yourself a whopping 40% off. So hurry up. Thanks to Codecrafters for sponsoring this video.